Y'all, it has finally come to that time of the year when we start our Christmas baking. Let me get the list. All right, so I got my list now. Like I said, it is that time of the year. So excited to start my Christmas baking. Um, I know I have several friends and family members that are, well, mostly friends, that are super excited. I just had one of my friends last night tell me that my Christmas cookies made his Christmas last year, so that was pretty sweet. So, on the list of things to make, chocolate chip cookies, a banana fiesta cookie, um, an M&M pretzel bite, Rolo stuffed Ritz crackers, whipped Christmas shortbread cookies, and a Grinch cookie. I also had a mild request for some red velvet cookies, so I would probably make those. We are going to start with the Banana Fiesta cookies, so let's get going. So we are going to get started on our Banana Fiesta cookies. So I'm going to be doubling this recipe, but so the recipe calls for a half a cup of butter. Like I said, I'm doubling it, so 2 sticks going in. Softened room temperature is best. But if you're like me, and most of the time you forget, you can always throw it in the microwave for a few minutes or a couple seconds, about 30 seconds, and it'll be perfectly fine. Okay, so last year I made about 3 batches of these. I had quite a few left over, so I made a mental note to cut back. Plus, it's just timeline. I just need to cut back a little bit. I got a little to be about too much for me when with the toddler and trying to manage that. And then we need a 3/4 cup of white sugar. Okay. And then 1 egg. And again, I am doubling the recipe, so 2 eggs going in. Oops, I cracked 2 of them. Then we need 1 teaspoon of milk. All right, so we need 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda mixed in with 1 tablespoon of hot water. So I've got my baking soda and my water. I'm just going to give that a little mix. And then in that goes, make sure I get all that baking soda out of there. All right, and then we need 1 mashed banana. So again, 2 because I'm doubling the recipe. Okay, 2 mashed bananas going in. You want those to be pretty ripe. A lot of times I'll let them sit out and let them get ripe and then throw them in a baggie and put them in the freezer until I'm ready to do this. Okay, so we are going to give this a mix. Then we are going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And 3/4 of a teaspoon of cream of tartar. And then our flour. Okay, that looks pretty good. So does your family have a specific cookie that you guys enjoy making every year, or a traditional cookie? I'm always looking for new recipes. I usually like to try at least one new thing every year. which is how I have gotten to the point where they got a little out of hand for a year or two. The year I was pregnant with Callie, uh, they got so out of hand. I ended up getting a tennis elbow in my hand from all of the cookies that I made. I currently have some bagels in the oven right now because apparently I think I'm Betty Crocker today and I can do all of these things. But while those finish up cooking, I'm going to get my baking sheets going or ready to go in the oven. So I personally like to bake with 3 cookie sheets. I would highly recommend doing at least 2. That way you can have one in the oven and one cooling and ready to go. But for me personally, after years of baking cookies, I like to have 3. That way I can have one in the oven, one cooling, and then one that's ready to go in the oven when the next one's done. So I'm just using my cookie scoop to evenly put them on my baking sheet. I'm trying to see what size this cookie scoop was, but I'm not certain. Because as we found out last year, there are many, many different sizes of cookie scoops out there, and we were struggling to find the right one. I had broke one of mine this size, making some truffles, and I did my best to keep using it, but it got to the point where it just we needed to get rid of it. So we did finally find this one after many different options. Like this one's almost half the size. Do you think you might want to help me make some cookies? Yeah. Okay. So I have my oven at 400 degrees. These are going to go into the oven for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Okay, be very careful. Mom's going to open this up, okay? All right. Be very careful. Yep. So in the oven, like I said, 10 minutes. I'm going to fill this cookie sheet up. Oh, bless you. So if anybody has toddlers out there that help, that's like to help you clean cook anything in the kitchen, I highly recommend one of these towers. This one she has absolutely loved since the day we bought it. So yes, I mean, you don't have to get this specific one. I know this particular one came in a couple different colors, like white and maybe gray. But I do highly recommend them. If you have a toddler that enjoys helping you in the kitchen, it has definitely been a good investment for us. And I forgot to set my timer already. All right, we'll go 8 minutes and see how they look. Okay, so I have my oven at 400 degrees. These are going to go into the oven for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Okay, be very careful. Mom's going to open this up, okay? All right. Be very careful. Yep. So in the oven, like I said, 10 minutes. I'm going to fill this cookie sheet up. Oh, bless you. So if anybody has toddlers out there that help, that's like to help you cook anything in the kitchen, I highly recommend one of these towers. This one she has absolutely loved since the day we bought it. Right? Do you like your tower?
Yeah.
Yeah. We just went potty on the potty, so we're getting a little treat.
Yellow.
It's yellow. Yep. Here you go.
Chocolate.
Chocolate.
Never chocolate.
Okay. So yes, I mean, you don't have to get this specific one. I know this particular one came in a couple different colors, like white and maybe gray. But I do highly recommend them if you have a toddler that enjoys helping you in the kitchen. It has definitely been a good investment for us. And this one does not want to come out of the cookie scoop. Come on. You can do it. Here it comes. There it goes.
Yeah.
You're so funny.
You will press this one.
What?
You will press this one, Mommy.
I'm filling it up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Please open this.
Yep. Let Mama finish this up. Or if you want it right now, you can go ask Daddy, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. And I forgot to set my timer already. All right. We'll go 8 minutes and see how they look. Whoop. So these end up being pretty much like a banana bread, just in a cookie format. And then, or form. And then we will be making a frosting to put on top of that, and then adding a cherry at the end. So it's a multi-step process. It's a labor of love. But we do enjoy them, and they are one of my favorites. I only make them once a year at this time. So yeah, we may not get to frosting them today. It's already almost 2. So we'll see how things go. We may just make some more cookies or a couple more treats, but this will be probably a couple day marathon. This is not a sprint for me.
Hi.
So this made almost 4 dozen cookies. We're one short of 4 dozen, but that's a double batch. So a single batch would probably make you about 2 dozen, so 24. I am going to start draining my maraschino cherries for the Banana Fiesta cookies we made the other day. So I have roughly 20 or 40-ish cookies. Okay. So if you are going to drain them like I am, I highly recommend using a metal strainer like this, or one that you're not too concerned about getting stained with cherry juice. So we'll let those sit while we mix up our frosting. So for our frosting, we need a 1/4 cup of butter. And I doubled this recipe, so I'm going to double my frosting. And then we need a mashed banana. And honestly, if you didn't want to make your own frosting, we have in the past ran out and we've used just a regular vanilla frosting from the store, like the store-bought cans. That is an option. Okay, so 1 mashed banana. Like I said, I'm doubling the recipe, so I have 2 going in. And then 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Oh, that was a little bit more, but that's okay. And then we need 4.5 cups of powdered sugar. This is gonna be messy. Just be prepared for it to be messy. cherries and then just cut them in half. Alright. Don't be shy with the frosting. You're just gonna like that, and then top it with cherry. Now, if you're not a cherry fan, if you've got non-cherry fan eaters or non-cherry eaters, they're perfectly delicious without the cherries as well. I have. Okay, so we are starting this day with whipped shortbread cookies. I started this day out super early. It was about 4:30 in the morning. And I was trying not to wake my daughter up with my talking. That's why I'm doing the voiceover instead of doing it there. So we added 4 sticks total of butter to this, and we're gonna whip it for about 4 or 5 minutes. And while that does that, we're gonna add our powdered sugar, our cornstarch, and our vanilla. And flour. And then, like I was about to say, as I do that, I totally forgot to add or film the outro to this video. So I do appreciate all of you taking the time to watch this. If you have any cookies, I think I mentioned it earlier, but if you have any cookies that you guys enjoy baking, or even treats in general, for the holiday season, let me know below. I love finding new recipes. So comment down below if there's anything that you guys enjoy baking every year. So we are going to whip this a little bit more. We're gonna whip. I have a hard time not adding that in there. And here I forgot to add my vanilla, so I'm doing that there. And then we're going to evenly place them on a cookie sheet. I like to put parchment paper on mine. It just makes cleanup easier. And then once I get it all the cookies on there, I'm going to press them down with a fork that is covered in powdered sugar, and then top it with my sprinkles. So again, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. This ended up being a very long day for me. Like I stated earlier, I started about 4:30 and finished up my day about 12:30 that next morning. By the time I finished everything. So, yeah, give me a like, give me a share. I know it's 1 o'clock in the morning now, so I'm getting a little loopy. But give me a like, give me a share, follow me if you enjoy this content. This is my big cookie extravaganza. Here we're taking a little dance break. I can guarantee you I was not this excited by the end of my night. Oh, what's happened? Okay. Oh, here I'm showing you my shirt, or my apron, made with love and some other shit. Love it. But thank you guys again for hanging out with me today. I really, really do appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. We're going into the Grinch cookies. So we need 1 cup. I am doubling this recipe, but we need 1 cup of unsalted butter, and we need 1 2/3 cups of sugar, 1 1/3 cups. Okay, that is a boatload of sugar. Okay, so we are going to cream this together until it is light and fluffy. And then we're going to slow this down, and we're going to add 2 eggs. Oops. Sorry, honey. 2 eggs.
2 eggs?
Yep. And again, like I said, I'm doubling the recipe, so it's 4. Okay, sweetie, you got to back up a little bit.
Cheese in there.
We're going to get in vanilla and the food coloring.
Food coloring?
Yep. So we need
This?
a tablespoon of vanilla.
Vanilla?
Vanilla, yep. One. Okay, you can do the next one, okay? Okay. Good job.
I did it.
Good job. It calls for 6 drops of food coloring. I have gel. That's the only thing that they had, so I'm just going to kind of add it until I get the green I'm looking for, I guess. So you're looking for like a Grinchy color?
Yeah.
Yep. So then we are going to add our dry ingredients. So it's 3 cups of flour. We need a teaspoon of cornstarch and a teaspoon of baking powder, as well as a teaspoon of baking soda. All right. And then we're also going to add a cup and a half of M&Ms. So we've got our oven preheating to 350. All right, so in the oven they go. 11 to 13 minutes, so I'm gonna go right in the middle at 12. Okay, so we are moving on to our red velvet cookies. So we are going to add 1 box, 15.5 ounce of red velvet cake mix. We need half a cup of vegetable oil, and then we need 2 eggs. All right, so we are going to give this a little mix. And then once that's mostly incorporated, we'll add some white chocolate chips.
I want some. I want some.
You want some? Beautiful. Okay, so here we go with our final cookie of the season. It is my chocolate chip cookies. So we need 1 or 2 cups of butter.
I want that and mommy.
Yeah, and this is just a single batch, so it does make quite a few cookies. This recipe has been passed down from my grandma. All right, going in. There's 1. Going in. All right, and we're just gonna cream this together. And then we need 4.5 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of salt, and 2 teaspoons of baking soda. And we will also need a tablespoon of water. Okay, finally found the baking soda. Hit it on myself. So 2 teaspoons of that. Okay, and then 4.5 cups of flour. So just snowed last night, so my little one is wanting to play outside. Just trying to keep an eye on her too. Okay, so I've got some milk chocolate chips here. You could use whatever kind of chocolate chips you prefer. The recipe calls for 1 cup to 1.5 cups. I like to measure with my heart. Okay, so we have Rolo stuffed Ritz crackers. I forgot to start recording, but we line a baking sheet with Ritz crackers. And then in the center of each one, we put our Rolo. I've got one tray in the oven right now. It'll be done in about 30 seconds. When those come out, we'll put these in 350 for about 4 minutes. Okay, so here we're just going to top it with another Ritz cracker and smush it down a little bit. So this is a very easy, simple, cheap kind of dessert treat that you could make.